Hey, what's up? I thought I'd do a quick video to help you decide which camera you want to get. Say you've been using your cell phone to take pictures and you decide, hey, I want to take my photography to the next level. I really like taking pictures. Well, there's so many cameras, brands out there. There's Nikon, there's Sony, there's Canon, there's Olympus, there's Pentax, there's Panasonic. How do you decide which one you want? First off, I'm going to start by saying that there's not really a good answer, but I'm going to go through each brand. I've been shooting for a long time and I've used all of these different brands, so I kind of know what is the specialty of each manufacturer, and I'm going to try to help you decide which one you want to get. But any of these cameras are going to take fantastic pictures. If you get a camera within the past 5 years and you know how to use the camera and you know their settings, you can take some excellent pictures. So but this is my personal view, and I'm going to go through each one and help you decide what you want to get. So let's just start out with the DSLRs, Canon and Nikon. The best thing about these cameras is you could find them anywhere. You could find these at Walmart, Target, Best Buy. If you want to go out and get something right away, you could do that. You don't have to order something online and wait a few days to get it. It's pretty automatic as far as that's concerned. Now, these are the two big manufacturers out there where you can do that. The only other one that's starting to get into where you might be able to buy it at Best Buy is Sony. You could find some of their products there, and they're really stepping up their game. I'll go over them in a second. But as far as these are concerned, the lower line camera, you're looking, or the entry-level camera, you're looking about $700 on sale or something to get one of these. I would suggest going, if this is the route you decide, go to Best Buy, go to Target, whatever. Pick them up in your hand, see which one feels the best in your hands. Now, these are DSLR, so it has a mirror in there that flips up, and there's a sensor under there. These are old film cameras that I had that kind of show you, but it kind of shows you the size there that you want to get. So on the entry-level cameras, they're kind of stripped down on these two manufacturers. You'll get like a plasticky body, so if you drop it, it's probably going to break most likely. When you get up farther in, the $1,000 range and higher, the bodies will be a little bit more solid, and you can kind of feel the difference. A lot of times the sensor is still the same in there, so the picture quality is not going to be that much better, but you will have like more focusing points, and just it would be more in line with a kind of an more action type photography camera. I would recommend maybe going up a level for that, because you'll have more focusing points, and when you learn to use your focus a little bit better to catch that action a little bit better, you might want to get one of those cameras. So if you know off the bat you're going to be doing a lot of sports and stuff like that, I would recommend going a little bit above just the entry-level camera on one of these. And the focusing on these both these cameras is fantastic. It's probably better than most of these other ones you'll see. So those are those two. Next is another DSLR. This is the last DSLR I'm going to go through. It's Pentax. This is the one I use all the time. The bad thing about this is you can't find it. You have to order it online or find a camera store which is going to carry these. So it's hard kind of going in it blindly, just getting it without holding it in your hands. As far as me holding it in my hands, I have like medium-sized hands, and it fits fantastic. Entry level on these is around $600, so it's about $100 cheaper, and you'll get a little bit more bang for your buck from this than you would from a Nikon or a Canon. What extra features are you going to get in here? You're going to get a more solid built body. It will have Wi-Fi. A lot of them will have Wi-Fi, not all of them. I have a mic jack. Just the menus to me are a little bit easier to go through and understand than like a Nikon. Canon's fairly well, but just the Pentax brand is fantastic in that way. Another good thing about Pentax is you can go back to their film days, back to the 70s, and those lenses will work on here. Some of these other cameras like the Nikon, you could do the same. You could go back and get some of their older lenses, but I've found that on Pentax their older lenses work better on these. But This is one I recommend, and these are always weather resistant too, on all the way down to their entry level camera. So you could step it up a game and get same thing, get a few more features like higher, better focusing and higher frames, shooting frames like frames per second and stuff like that when you step up and you get in that $1,200 range. Same thing with those. So something to consider on this. Now all these cameras, where would you get if you're going to order them online? I recommend B&H Photo. You find them online. They'll have the best prices, and they ship stuff out really quickly, and I've ordered from them probably 40 times and never had an issue. So I recommend them. I'll put a link to them in the description below. Next, away from the DSLRs with the mirror that flops up and the bulkiness of this, if you want something a little bit more compact, you have small hands, or you just want something lighter, you could go with the mirrorless camera. So here's a mirrorless. This is a Olympus camera EM10. So you could see the size difference there. Mirrorless, so it doesn't have that flopping mirror. So all you got, the camera doesn't have that mirror in there. So you have just a sensor right there, right in the camera. So this allows just for the camera to be a lot smaller. Now these Olympus and Panasonic are kind of similar in that they have a sensor that's a 4/3 sensor, so the sensor size is a little bit smaller than these three that I said before, the Canon, Nikon, and the Pentax. So it's smaller, which is great. You can still get great image quality, but there's something that has to suffer when the sensor gets a little bit smaller right there. Where these cameras will suffer is low light. They don't get the best low light performance. If you're going to be shooting like concerts and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't recommend these, but they do all right, but you'll get a lot better, less noise in the shot from these other cameras. But these are stepping up their game. Technology keeps on getting better, so it's not like it's bad, but those are just better in that area. Olympus and Panasonic, their lenses are interchangeable. So this is an Olympus camera, but I've got actually I said Pentax. This is Olympus camera, but it has a Panasonic lens on there. So Olympus and Panasonic use the exact same lens mount, which is cool. So you could buy from both manufacturers, and the lenses will work on your camera. So that is one awesome thing about these. Let me say it's the same thing, kind of like the Canon, Nikon, around $700 for their smaller, latest camera, entry-level camera. With all these, you could buy them used and save a couple $100. I probably recommend that. Buy like a model or two back, and you'll save quite a bit. So that's those. The good thing about these two, and they're newer ones, Olympus and Panasonic, both have 4K video. If you're thinking about doing some video and stuff, they make some very good cameras. Canon used to be the top in the industry as far as video is concerned, but then 4K came out, and just Canon hasn't done anything to up their game as far as that's concerned. Olympus doesn't have, or Pentax does not have 4K yet, so as far as video, I would say they're kind of on the lower. It's not bad video. It's just standard, HD video, but it's at the lower end of all these cameras, which as far as quality and stuff. But it does have, like I said, stuff that you don't have on some of these other cameras for the price point, like a mic jack. A lot of these won't have a mic jack until you go up a level or two, so something to consider. And I really enjoy these, just small. These are great for just doing some family stuff, going to theme parks, going on a little hike or something. Even though this is small, these cameras pack a lot of punch. Which one would I recommend, the Olympus or the Panasonic? Panasonic is a little bit better on the video side, but I think Olympus, just to me personally, I think Olympus, their colors and contrast and stuff like that, with it seems to pop a little bit more. So as far as pictures are concerned, I would recommend an Olympus. Now, they're the same thing. They have, like, this is the EM10. You'll find this looking at a lot of reviews. The EM10, they've got this is the original. They've got a 2 and a 3. Well, guess what? The 1, 2, and 3, they all have the exact same sensor. There's no change to the sensor in there. They're just added features and such. So I got this for, I think, $225 with this lens. Or you could get the Mark III version, and I think it's like 800 bucks or something. So you could go back, like I said, and this, you're not really going to see a big image quality difference. So just something to keep in mind about buying used. Okay, last but not least is a Sony. I don't have a Sony with me, but a Sony are compact like this. But I was talking about the Olympus and Panasonic, how their sensor's a little smaller. Well, Sony has the same size sensor as your Canon and Nikon, so it's able to get low light. They're actually the best at low light. It will be a lot better than what you get on here. Also, Sony is better at the video. They're the top at the video. Their 4K video is outstanding. I'd recommend them. It's the same thing though. They're kind of small. I didn't like on the Sony just the way their grip is and stuff. You could actually go to Best Buy and try those out. They do, since they've upped their game, they're selling a lot more, so they're actually competing with Canon and Nikon. So you could find them at Best Buy and just hold them in your hand. And you can search through the menus, because the Sony menu, I didn't really care for it. It's not very user friendly. Some of these other ones, I like Olympus menu pretty well, and Panasonic one as well. So bottom line, like I said at the beginning of this video, any of these cameras are going to shoot great. It's just knowing your settings and stuff to make the most of your camera. So in conclusion, which camera do I use most often? I use Pentax most often, just because I like the feel of this DSLR, this little Olympus. These are the two cameras I have now. I don't have a Canon and Nikon anymore, or a Sony anymore. I just kind of narrowed it down, and I've got these two. This is just, like I said, when you want to go out to a theme park, or just go on a quick hike, or just a walk, I just bring this along, and I do little eBay shots with this, little product shots. It works fantastic. This one, when I want to get a little bit more serious, not that this isn't a serious camera, when I want to get a little bit more serious, I'll bring this more of a professional type camera. It just does a little bit better in certain areas than the Olympus does, and it just feels beefier, makes you feel good. If that makes sense. So there's what I own. Like I said, any of these are going to take great pictures when you learn photography and learn your settings and such. The only one I didn't go over today is Fuji, and Fuji's making great strides. They're actually doing very well. I've read some of the reviews. Hadn't owned one, but people have a lot of good things to say about them. I hope I didn't confuse you. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. Go ahead and subscribe. You can check back through my channel too. I've got plenty of Pentax and Canon, and I think some Olympus videos as well on different cameras that might help you decide what you want to get. Thanks for watching.